Hi, it's Kevin here. So, I'm going to make a quick video about this particular topic. I'm going to show you how I would approach it, and I'm going to write it in real time just so you can get some ideas. So, let me put this up in the corner. So, get this ready. My typing might not be as fast, but obviously, in the exam you would have to write unless you took the IBT, but anyway, this is just going to give you some ideas. So, first things first, right? You've got to analyse the question. This is the most important part. Add nothing, omit nothing, as I keep saying. Nowadays, many people choose to be self-employed rather than to work for a company or organisation. Why might this be? And what are the disadvantages of being self-employed? Okay, now, as I mentioned on several videos before, research is key to any examination. We know what the topics are. I've seen this one before. The more research that you do, the more familiar you'll be with the topics and you won't be stuck. This one's not too difficult, really. I mean, in my 5 minutes making a plan, I would probably say self-employed, you can choose your own hours and set your own rates of pay. Okay, I would do that. The disadvantages, I would say the main disadvantage is a lack of stable income. And try it just like that. I think that would work fine, in fact. So, sentence 1, restate the topic. Sentence 2, why. Sentence 3, what. And then paragraph 2, explain why. Paragraph 3, explain what. Conclusion. Let's see how it goes. Nowadays, these days, or currently, this is just to give you some ideas. Many people, the choice of many people to be self-employed. So you can change it round. You can change the, words, its synonyms, change the form of the verbs, change the order of the words, I should say. And again, this is pretty quick, just to give you a general idea. If I were doing this under real exam conditions, I would be spending 5 minutes making a plan first. But I'm not. This is just like a speed exercise to give you some ideas. These days, currently, many people choose, these days, or currently, self-employment is the choice of many people. Okay, so you can see how I've changed that. Self-employment from self-employed, choose choice, many people put it at the end. These days, or currently, self-employment is a choice of many people. You don't have to say work for a company or organisation because that is self-evident. Self-employed. In my view, this is down to a desire to set their own working conditions. So I'd expand that in paragraph 2 and that talk about hours and they can work at home or etc. Again, this just give you some idea. In my view, this is down, I'll put a comma there, down to desire to set their own working conditions. However, the main downside to this could be a lack of stable income. Okay, so that would do fine. So, self-employment. So now, currently, these days, self-employment is a choice of many people. Okay. In my view, because it's obviously you are the author, I am the author, so it is my opinion. In my view, this is down to a desire to set their own working conditions. You don't have to go into any detail. That's for paragraph 2. However, the main downside to this could be a lack of stable income. Now, I know it's a disadvantages, but I've said the main downside. Now, what you can do as a strategy, obviously, your introduction needs to match what you say in paragraph 2 and 3. What you can do when you're writing in the exam is to leave a space and just paraphrase the topic, write paragraph 2 and 3, and when you know what your main ideas are, you can come back and write them in to make sure that it matches. Okay, so you might hear a bit of sound. There's some people outside in the street doing some construction work and some other shit, so we might hear some sounds. It's not perfect, but it's home office because of what. So that's not stable income. So very good. Now what I need to do now is paragraph 2. 4 sentences. Main idea, explain, expand, example, connect it back to the topic. 4 sentences. What can I say? Working for yourself means you decide when you want to work. Okay? You don't have to say the main reason why, because that is repetition. They want progression, cohesion, and coherence. Okay? Working for yourself means you decide when you want to work and for how much. So now I've got to explain this, expand it. And again, I didn't plan this. This is just coming straight out, so it might be a bit shite, but, just to give you some ideas. So, short, answer the question. Working for yourself means you decide when you want to work and for how much. For example, you can put your example sentence 2, 3, doesn't actually matter. Okay? Working for yourself means you decide when you want to work and for how much. For example, as an online teacher, I can work whenever I feel like it and have no pressure from a school. Okay, so a specific example, right? When I want to work, so if I want to get out of bed or start at 9, start at 10, 11. For example, as an teacher, I can work whenever I feel like it and have no pressure from school. This is ability to set your own hours makes self-employment or freelancing particularly attractive to many people. So, working for yourself, you decide when you want to work, with how much. For example, as an online teacher, I can work whenever I feel like it and have no pressure from a school. Okay, so I moved on. This ability to set your own hours makes self-employment or freelancing particularly attractive to many people. Now I need something to connect it back to the topic. I can put another sentence in. What can I do? I need another sentence, maybe 2. How much particularly attractive to many people. In fact, this lack of restriction on pay rates allows me to charge what I I like, and I can even work in my pyjamas if, and I sometimes do, if I want to. Okay, so again, I didn't make a plan, so this might not be band 9 as such, because it's just coming, but again, it's just to give you some idea. So these days, currently, self-employment is a choice of many people. In my view, this is down to a desire to set their own working conditions, and in paragraph 2, I talk about hours of work and how much. Okay, so working for yourself means you decide when you want to work and for how much. For example, as an online teacher, I can work whenever I feel like it and have no pressure from a school. This ability to set your own hours makes self-employment or freelancing particularly attractive to many people, so I'm spreading it out. In fact, its lack of restriction on pay rates allows me to charge what I like, and I can even work in my pyjamas if I want to. Now, I could have put sentence 3 as sentence 2. As a matter of fact, let's just, I don't think I saved any changes. Let me just try that, so I can put that, that sentence there. Okay, so working for yourself means you decide when you want to work and for how much. This ability to set your own hours makes self-employment or freelancing particularly attractive to many people. For example, as an online teacher, I can work whenever I feel like it and have no pressure from a school. In fact, its lack of restriction on pay rates allows me to charge what I like, and I can even work in my pyjamas if I want to. Okay, that's not bad. Now, paragraph number 3. So, what I need to do now is answer question 2. What could be the disadvantages of being self-employed? So, I said lack of stable income, which is certainly true. So, sentence 1, I need to state my main idea. You don't have to go firstly on the one hand, on the other hand. You don't have to restate the topic. In fact, it's better if you don't, because that is repetition, and they want progression. Maybe we'll take a look at the criteria at the end, and we can see. So, disadvantages of being self-employed. So, it's a contrast now. However, I could use, so, despite this freedom, so I put a contrast word, because I used however in the introduction, and I don't want to use it again. Despite this freedom, the freedom refers to what I said in paragraph 2, ability to set your own hours rates. Despite this freedom, making a good living is not always guaranteed. Okay, short to the point. So, despite this freedom, making a good living is not always guaranteed. So now I need to expand. What does that actually mean? To go back to my previous example. So, now when you are writing this, you can use your own examples. You don't have to say this, but because obviously, right. This question, because I'm self-employed, I'm not finding this topic particularly difficult, right? So maybe it's not entirely fair, but life isn't fair. Shock. Quelle surprise. However, you can use your own examples if you wish, all right? So, despite this freedom, making good living is not always guaranteed. To go back to my previous example, due to the competition for online English lessons, I might not always be able to I spelled that right? Maintain a full working weekly schedule. Okay, that's a little bit long, but it explains things. So, despite this, making a good living is not always guaranteed. Why? I've got to progress. To go back to my previous example, due to the competition for online English lessons, because there are many people working online these days, I might not always be able to get a full working weekly schedule. Okay. Oops. This means that what? What does this mean? This means that some weeks may be better paid than others, and it can be difficult to plan or save for the future. Okay, so again, every sentence has got to move on. Alright, so despite this freedom, making a good living, it's not a guarantee. Why? Due to the competition, there's thousands of people, and when students come to a website, there's thousands of teachers that they can choose. So due to that, I might not always be able to maintain a full working weekly schedule, whereas if I were working for a company, I would be able to do so. What does that mean? This means that some weeks may be better paid than others, and it can be difficult to plan or save for the future. So now, sentence 4, I've got to tie it back to the topic. So which may be better paid than others, and it can be difficult to plan or save for the future. With this in mind, I have to say that in my field of expertise, working, I don't want to say self-employed again, working for myself. There's not too much you can do in my field of expertise. I said like so. You've got being self-employed, self-employment, freelancing. Okay. So in my field of expertise, being a freelancer. With this in mind, I have to say that in my field of expertise, being a freelancer, I need to say something kind of negative now. With this in mind, I say that in my field of expertise, being a freelancer may not be ideal for everyone. Okay, so I'm connecting it back to the main idea now. So let's just have a look. So, these days, or currently, self-employment is the choice of many people. In my view, this is down to a desire to set their own working conditions. However, the main downside to this could be a lack of stable income. Okay, paragraph 2. Working for yourself means you decide when you want to work and for how much. This ability to set your own hours makes self-employment or freelancing particularly attractive to many people. For example, as an online teacher, I can work whenever I feel like it and have no pressure from a school. In fact, this lack of restriction on pay rate allows me to charge what I like, and I can even work in my pajamas if I want to. And I sometimes do. Not today though, because I'm making a video. Despite this freedom, making a good living is not always guaranteed. To go back to my previous example, due to the competition for online English lessons, I might not always be able to maintain a full working weekly schedule. This means that some weeks may be better paid than others, and it can be difficult to plan or save for the future. Well, yeah, because if you're working in a company, end of the month you'll get X amount of cash. I have no idea, so I can't really plan or kind of save. With this in mind, I have to say that in my field of expertise, being a freelancer may not be ideal for everyone. Now, conclusion, what do I have to do? I have to restate the topic. Now, first, let me just, this is a bit of a cheat, What's my word count? I think it might be a little bit low. 202. Yeah, it is. It's a little bit low. I'm not going to write 100 words in my conclusion. I mean, probably every paragraph, how many is that? That's like 85. So if I do a good conclusion, this will take me up to about 250, 60, 70. Now, again, this is not perfect. It's not ideal. And I didn't plan. Right? This is one reason why this is a little bit short. I did not make a plan. And however, though, what you can do at the end, once you count your words, if you leave space, you can add a sentence to add some extra words. So we'll see how that goes. So I need to restate the topic, mention both my main ideas in paraphrase. Right? So as many people, don't want to say it again, choose self-employment. I can use that. As many people, what I can do, as many people choose, or, no, I can, yeah, as many people currently reject working for others, be it, what's it saying, be it in a company or other kind of organisation. You can see how I'm adding words now. As many people currently reject working for others, be it in a company or other kind of organisation. The number of self-employed is increasing. Okay, so let me just check. And again, it's a good idea to constantly refer back to the question, right? What's the topic words? What are the keywords? Okay. Nowadays, mentioned a company. Okay. As many people currently reject working hours, but become a kind of organisation. The number of self-employed is increasing. So I've restated that. So my two main ideas now. The number of self-employed is increasing. The reasoning behind this move may well be I said desire, I think, yeah. So I can't use that again. The reason behind this move may well be oh dear. The reason behind this move may well be a longing for taking control. The reason behind this movement will be a longing for taking control of their individual working lives. Individual working lives vis-a-vis pay and conditions. Okay. Company vis-a-vis pay and conditions. However, don't want to be repeating myself too much. However, no, I won't. No, I'll use that. Reason how it's moving by taking control of individual working lives vis-a-vis pay and conditions. No, I shall. However, or whatever the reasons may be, this move may have several disadvantages, such as being unable to make financial decisions for the future due to income instability. Okay? So whatever reasons may be, this move may have some disadvantages, such as being able to make financial decisions for future due to income instability. In that case, I don't want to say self-employed. In that case, possibly self-employment may not be suitable for everyone. Okay, and that's just a sentence to round things off. Okay, now have a quick check. What's the word count? What's the countage? 288. That will do. So let's just have a check of this once again, and we'll take a look at the scoring. So, these days, or currently, self-employment is a choice of many people. In my view, this is down to a desire to set their own working conditions. Okay. However, the main downside to this could be a lack of stable income. Working for yourself means you decide when you want to work and for how much. This ability to set your own hours makes self-employment or freelancing particularly attractive to many people. For example, as an online teacher, I can work whenever I feel like it and have no pressure from a school. In fact, this lack of restriction on pay rates allows me to charge what I like, and I can even work in my pajamas if I want to. Despite this freedom, making a good living is not always guaranteed. To go back to my previous example, due to a competition for online English lessons, I might not always be able to maintain a full working weekly schedule. This means that some weeks may be better paid than others, and it can be difficult to plan or save for the future. With this in mind, I have to say, in my field of expertise, being a freelancer may not be ideal for everyone. I kind of say that kind of twice, so maybe I don't actually read it, but I'm going to keep it in. I'm going to keep it. So, as many people currently reject working for others, be it in a company or other kind of organisation, the number of self-employed is increasing. The reasoning behind this move may well be a longing for taking control of their individual working lives, vis-à-vis pay and conditions, which is what I referred to in paragraph 2. Whatever the reasons may be, this move may have several disadvantages, such as being unable to make financial decisions for the future due to income instability. In that case, possibly self-employment may not be suitable for everyone. Okay, there we go, 288 words.